Hello, everybody. No one's here yet. That's fine. I'll wait till a couple people get here, and then I got to work on a guitar. So while you're doing whatever it takes to get here, I will look at some stuff on Facebook. When you get here, please say something in the chat. Well, whatever you want in the chat. Hello. Mr. Rich. Hello, Rich. Hey, thank you so much for that today. Seriously, thank you. That's not a problem if it doesn't fit, which the way that curved up, I'll have to pull the fur out, reshape it, trim it out, and then put the fur back in. That's not an issue. Thank you so much. I've been looking for one of those ever since I saw one, but you were never able, at least at first, you were never able to buy it separately. It came with a guitar. Billy Ray, what's happening? So thank you, Rich. And Billy Ray, thank you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about on that one, Rich, look what Billy Ray sent me today. The Jackson Erie Des Swirl. So that was cool. So thank you both. All I need now is that mirrored soloist, and I'm done buying soloist. And actually, I'm done buying guitars in general unless I sell one to replace it. I mean, I got to put a cap on it somewhere. So yeah, I'm going to. I mean, you see up there, especially that one right there. It sticks out a little bit farther than your normal top horn would stick out. So I'm just going to reshape that a little bit, get that in there. Dwight, hello, Dwight, MPN. So, yeah, that I can reshape it and put the foam back in it, and that's a perfect case for bones. I can't clip. I'm running the free version. I can't do hardly anything on this. So, for those of you who don't know or didn't see Johnny's exclusively Van Halen show earlier today, he threw his back out. So we're not doing a show tonight. And I told him if we're not going to do one, I'll go live, and because I have a guitar to work on. And I told him, I said, you're more than happy, I'll send you a link and more than welcome to jump in. And he said he didn't need to, or he said no, he was working on a video or something. So there's that. I am not doing a Wednesday show. This is Johnny's time. I would do the shows with him as long as he lets me come in all the time. But yeah, I'm not going to, I'll do a Monday show, and it's just going to be working on the bench and talk about that. Although I did, it is Halloween, and I do like skulls. My latest 3D print project. It's pretty detailed. Check it out. Right? Cobwebs and everything. Sorry, on the free version, I don't have high definition. So it's just 720. Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, he did end up doing the Van Halen show today, Dwight. So, um, he said he was getting better. So that's all I don't know how he heard it or how bad. Um, but I'm sure everybody in here, joins me in wishing that Johnny gets better fast and doesn't have a recurring issue. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, my daughter saw this and she's like, "Dad, you got to make one that will hold her business cards." So I got to shrink it down to about half the size for business cards for her. She has the Ghoul Gallery. So I have a guitar on the bench to work on. It is a 7-string guitar. And I've been working on this deal probably 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks tops. And actually, I got it for next to nothing. And it is for a friend of ours in the chat who we all know. For reasons I won't go into, but I wanted to cheer him up a little bit. So this guitar is going to MPN. So MPN, enjoy it once you get it. Right now it's filthy. It needs set up. The strings are literally a half inch off of it at the bottom. It is dirty, but again, I'll be doing during this broadcast, I'll be cleaning it all up. So, so I'm not going to go into reasons why. I just, he needed a little pick me up, and I got this cheap enough to where it was possible. It's made possible. So MPN, you get to see your guitar getting worked on tonight, and then I'll get it out to you. So I want to thank Barry Rich today for a case that's coming. I want to thank Billy Ray for that. And yeah, it's I don't know. It's great to make people smile. I almost said smeal. So the image of Rocky too when he started doing the commercials in 77, 78. Yeah, just to help for those of you who don't know, and I normally don't, my wife isn't working right now. Her company she'd been with for years, the owner of the company hired a guy who come in and decided to very, very aggressively, without any warning, outsourced her entire department to India. No warning whatsoever. She went to lunch. At lunch, she got an email saying, "Hey, 15 minutes after lunch, which was 12:45, we want to have a meeting to touch base." And she thought it was for the whole department, and here it was just her with a new temporary director. And then HR come in, and they just said, "We outsourced your job. You're no longer needed." And they ended up doing that to everybody in her department, including her boss and that boss's boss, who'd been there 20 some years. Out of the blue, no warning, no nothing. And they ended it right there. So it's like, okay. So I know what it's like, ups and downs. Um, and if I can still do something to help people, that's fine with me. I just enjoy doing that. So I know I just wanted to help MPN out a little bit, and so this is for you, brother, and I hope you enjoy it when you get it. Any questions, comments, concerns? Let me know. Type them in the chat. Actually, I don't need to wear headphones since I'm the only one here. Do I? Um, do I sound okay? Can you guys hear me good enough? I'm hoping it works better. Without the headphones, I can't hear any of that. I don't know. Okay, everything sounds good. All right. And Billy Ray, thank you. BC Rich, Bay Area Rich, thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's just thank you, Dwight. It's just nice to help, and it's nice to I don't know how to explain it. I feel good helping, and I just like doing it, and that's all. So, um, any questions, anything at all? Anything you guys want to talk about before I go over to the bench, or you just want me to go over the bench and work on the guitar and shut up? I can do that too. Again, I am not doing Wednesday nights. I'm not stepping on Johnny's toes. I'm not going to step on Laz's toes. I respect those guys for what they do, and I hope to still be on their shows. I love doing it. The guy, everybody in the chat, it's like it truly is like a family. At least that's how I look at it. And so if I do a regular, I don't want to say show or I don't know what it is, live stream, it would just be on Mondays, and again, be working on the bench on something. So should I just go to the bench now, or I could show? Let's see. Next Monday, I'm giving away one of the improved fret polishers. So I got to figure a way to do it again with the free StreamYard. I don't have all the options, the random name generator and all that. So I wish I did. That would be a lot easier. But I mean, I can stick to putting 1 through 50 piece of paper in a hat, and everybody just pick a number, and I'll pull it out that way. We can do that. And if 2 people pick the same number, whoever picked it first, that would be. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of right now. So, is that okay with everybody? I'm even afraid to mess with this StreamYard because I don't know what I'll do. Oh, I just know it doesn't where it says end now. I don't want to do that. So, okay, well, let me switch cameras. I do know how to do that. And you will see this extremely filthy Ibanez 7-string. And that is not chips at the bottom. It's something stuck to it. All right, let me switch microphones. Can you guys hear me okay on this one? Can you hear me okay? Hold on, I need to get my. Okay, you guys can see this okay? Look at this. Look at the action. How well you can. Eve, what's up? Ow, that hurt. Using the neck rest that I 3D printed. All right, let me move the mic. Bear with me a second. Edit. For the other day when I was on here and had the printer running. Sorry for all the extra noise, everybody. Yeah, this is dirty to say the least. Of course, I'm going to use one of the new improved fret polishers on it, but this thing is dirty. Action's bad. Microphone's going in and out. Thing I could do is just get it. Yeah, excuse me. Just get it a little closer because it'll have a hiss if I don't use the gate on it. So anyhow, yeah, it is on the dirty side. So we're going to clean the switches and the pots and everything. I'm probably going to take the neck off. Matter of fact, I'm sure I'm going to take the neck off because I want to. May have to shim it. And actually, I ended up getting this, believe it or not, because of Dane. I watched him use one for years, and I love this thing. No, Steve. This is not a custom. Well, not really. It's actually going to be MPN's guitar. Now I'm going to have to get a set of seven set of strings. These are remind me somewhat of Alex's strings. So for cutting, maybe. I'll pick up a set of 7. Or we can just go with 6 MPN. Yeah, as you can see, believe it or not, this guitar came with a gig bag, on stage gig bag, and the gig bag's just as dirty. So before I ship this over to you, MPN, I will go ahead and wash the gig bag too. I'll just throw it in the washer. And then I can ship everything that's get over to you. Yeah. All that's coming out. I have to glue those back in. Oh, that one came out. Thought that one stayed. Two out of 7 stayed in. We're here. This guitar was not played very much because the guy who had it, his hands were way too small. And is a very wide net. I mean, I can't. So, neck off. I still got the plastic over the cavity cover. Yeah, MPN, you're going to have to, yeah, Dane can pressure washes. MPN, you're going to have to develop a whole new style of playing for this. It's probably the same width as that other one you have, but it's thicker. Love this hammerhead. And it's good to know that these are metal instead of plastic, those inserts. I just leave that top drawer open all the time to catch everything. No, and that's only for people in Oklahoma. Look at that. You know what? 68.42 millimeters, or 2 inches, just under 2 3/4. Thickness. $8.57. That's what, about 13/16. So there's no dings or nothing. Just never been taken care of. No, really not much fretwear at all. But see, I'm sure these are. Oh yeah, can be. Yep, every one of them. Well, that's actually that's just actually the channel photo, Michael. I don't know how to do thumbnails. I'm serious. I'm total idiot when it comes to that stuff. I don't know how to do the. I'm lucky I know how to get it go live. Oh yeah. And he's tightened. Needs tight, that's for sure. Gargots, welcome. This is MPN 7 string. Can't. And again, don't expect Wednesday shows just because, Johnny's not feeling good and we weren't going to do one. I figured I'd go ahead and do it because a lot of people were asking since we didn't do yesterday. I figured I'd go ahead and do it tonight. I may just, I'm pretty sure, I don't want to say 100%, but I'm pretty sure I'll just be on Mondays. It's just going to be stuff like that. Yeah. Set that right here for now. And let me get this apart. Like, check the switch and the pots and clean them out, spray them out. MPN, you want me to pull the plastic off this, or do you want to do it? way, he's fine with me. No, Mr. Mick, he's not doing one. He injured his back yesterday, and he did a Van Halen show earlier. Then I asked him before 9 if we were doing one. That's the only reason why I'm here on a Wednesday night. He's not feeling that well. And I do know that a lot of people are trying to look forward to seeing us on Wednesdays. So I figured, well, I'll go ahead and do it. You know, I've never asked Johnny how to run one of the shows. At all, and I know nothing about StreamYard. I'll get that a little bit. All right, let's see. I'm sure they need it from the looks of the guitar. I'll put a pure tone in there for you, MPN. Oh, let's take the rest of this off. Oh, he did put one up? Okay, then maybe he is planning on doing one. I know he did a Van Halen show earlier. That's the jack, the pure tone jack. That clicks twice when you plug it in. Wow. Dusty. There's your wire. Now, what I do on there, here's a hint for everybody. You see that little wire right here? This is a pointer. That's your ground wire to the bridge. Now, if you also notice, they didn't grind anything off on here to get better connection. So I'll sand some of this down, but I'm also going to take copper tape and lay it underneath, lay this in it, and then over top, so it'll have a big area which will help the ground with that. So that's something you guys can do if need be. And knobs feel a little bit better now. Actually, a lot better. So, this out and put a switch in it. Yeah, I asked Johnny if he wanted to get on here. I told him I'd send him the link. At least I think I know how to do it. It says invite, so I guess that means it would show me a link. And he said no, he didn't want to. He was working on a video. So I didn't know he was doing a thumbnail. I just don't want him getting mad thinking I'm trying to step on him on his toes, because I'm not. I only did this because I had a bunch of requests. Yeah, he threw his back out yesterday. It's cord. Hey, come on. Holy crap. Come out of there. The heck? It's like the hole's not. I don't get that. The hole's not completely round. Not there it is. Yeah, we'll take this out. Look how cheap that is. And we will put a pure tone. Yeah, what sucks about my wife getting laid off, like I found a place on Reverb. That sold a bunch of these for $80, which it was cheaper. I think it was 50. No, 25. I don't know. It was cheaper than what I'm paying for them. And I told her, I said, yeah, I want to order those. And just the night before that happened, sponge. Might have been 20 or 25 of them. Yeah, the guy who did that is, of course, he's getting a big, hefty holiday bonus now for all the quote money he's saving. The company for outsourcing everything to India. No warning, no nothing. Just did it. That's all right. I believe in karma. I really do. All right. That's like not even soldered through the hole. Just soldered to the back a little bit. A lot of quantity on or quality check on this model apparently. But change. And by the way, this, I'll show you as soon as I get this one off. I put a pure tone in every guitar that I work on. They're in every one of my own guitars, every guitar I work on, and I'll show you exactly why. Look. I even got it. Okay, here's your normal plug. Usually, they're all like this. The only difference would be this base. Some are like fibrous, some are plastic, like this one. So when you put your plug in, you got one point of contact right here. Also, you step on it, easy to pull out. So we all know with ground and everything, the better contact you have, the better it's going to sound. With this one, you have 4 points of contact. And it clicks twice. 2 in top, 2 in the bottom. Pure tones. Can't beat these. Here's the next thing. Oh, maybe. This up just a tad. Yeah, pure tones are definitely the way to go. And, you know, they're anywhere. You can buy one. They're like, I think around $5 or $6 if you buy one. Or you can buy a pack of 3 or 4. Like I said, I found that one, and I think it is at least 20. There we go. It was at least 20 of them. And it ended up being cheaper. I think it ended up being like $3, 3 something a piece. So that's what sucked. Just ready to buy that when that happened. My son Cole come one day and he bought a new jack and he bought a new pure tone. He said, "Dad, I think my jack's bad in his main Schecter guitar." So it was sitting here on the bench and he told me that, so I plugged it in and it was working. Jiggled it around, it was working. So I went over and plugged it into an amp, turned on, it wasn't working. He's like, "See, that's what it's doing, Dad." So I come over here and I took this out, and the wire, you know, out of all that wire, there was only one strand still attached, and this was all corkscrewed all in here. I said, "What did you do?" He's like, "Well, it gets loose, so I just start turning it to it." So I said, "Oh, Cole, you don't do that." I said, "You got to hold the back of it." So he was just twisting everything and just corkscrewed till it started pulling wires apart. Now he knows. It was funny. The whole time he was growing up, he didn't want to learn any of this stuff. And he really didn't take the guitar seriously until he was 18. He's got a degree from West Liberty University in music and a master's from Berkeley. In guitar and music production. All that time I kept trying to say, this is how you do it. No. And he always, even when he was a kid, he always said, no, Dad, I'll make enough money where I can pay to have it done. Well, guess what? I'm doing it for him and for free. I said, boy, you lucked out on that one. But I do it for the whole band. Actually, I do it for two bands. I do it for Faith and Failure and a band called Bolt Action. They are a heavy thrash punk type band. I do all the guitars and basses. Feel like Bob Ross. Happy soldering puddles. There's no accident. All happy. I don't know. Johnny never sent me a text and told me he was going to go live. So. Also, when you're soldering, let it cool off naturally. Don't try to blow on it to dry it or cool it down, because that actually weakens the soldering. Hey, there's that. And you now have a brand new pure tone in there. That easy, that quick. Why that is off. I'm actually going to put that back on. It's dirty under here. So yeah, it's like the hole is not completely round in here. It's like they drilled the hole, but oh, damn phone fell over. They drilled the hole, but they didn't. I don't know. Yeah. Happy flux. Never have an issue. Never any mistakes. Oh, it's good. It's always good. Just take this black and white wire here and just tuck it right up in there like that. There you go. It's in there and it's fine. So sorry I haven't. Wish. I don't know what that thing is Johnny has. That oh, it might be Twitch. You guys type in the chat and it reads it off to him. That would, I could see where that would come in real handy. Get it with this. Okay, MPN, you now have a pure tone double lock jack. I have a bunch of these saved, like 100 of them. So now I just throw the rest of them away. But I saved the washers and nuts. You never know. Those are clean. Pots and everything are clean. Switch is clean. So, let's see. Rainy weather. Screwing up my plans again. This year has absolutely sucked for rain. Here's put together. And it just has screwed up everything. I'm hoping that heater that I put in the garage last winter will work. I can get the painting out there. Let me see. Do the back. You know what? No. That I think comes. Yep, that comes. Those of you, before you ask, the only thing I've ever used on guitars is McGuire's. McGuire's compound, McGuire's wax, polish, everything. If it's good enough for show cars, it's good enough for guitars. This is a light buffing compound. Get out the light scratches. Sorry about the noise, everybody. And for those of you who don't know, when you are buffing like this, you never stop. Continuously move. Because when you stop is when you burn through the clear and paint. So as long as you're moving, you'll be doing okay. You don't want to apply so much pressure that you're spinning the body around. But you want to apply enough that it actually works and does its job. And be careful not to catch it on this kind of stuff. I have littler pads like for this stuff, but they're all out in the garage. And contrary to popular belief, you can also do the pickups, the tops of them anyhow. Get a rag. Gunk off of it. Like we did. Now that looks better already without any wax. And that. And those spots come off the end. All right, now let's switch pads. Back. Was it? It doesn't take a lot. Don't hit it with the pad full force. Get it going like this first. If not, you'll have it splattered all over the drapes like I got here. My wife was down here today and she's like, you need to take those off so she could. Yeah, you know. But I got a guitar to work on. That's what you don't want to do. All right. That came up. Garguts, is this like yours? But yours has a Floyd Rose on it, right? Or a floating tremolo, not a Floyd, but a floater. Now here's also a hint. When you're going in here and these side the horns like this to get it, make sure you're on an angle. Don't go in like this because this part will hit, start burning the paint off. So you kind of got to go in on an angle. And if you can't get into there with that, then you end up something like this. That will get in there. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to have sides. Actually looks like something was spilled on this. And either not wiped up or very carelessly wiped up. I know he didn't play it much because, again, neck way too big for hands. But he always wanted a 7-string. Yeah, it's probably been 6 weeks I've been working on this deal. To be absolutely honest, I gave up pretty much about I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago. And then the other night, out of the blue, he sent me a text. It had been probably 3 or 4 weeks, 3 weeks since I'd heard from him last. yeah, it all worked out. It's here. It is now on the bench. That's factory. Look at that. Like almost like a run in the paint they kind of worked on. All right, now let's wax out. Mr. Miyagi say, wax on, wax off. Again, full of useless knowledge. I would be good on a game show. That's about it. All right. Switch. Go with wax off. You can use the microfiber rag. That's not a problem. But if you do this with a pad like this, it actually does a little better job because it gets it in there more. And I'm doing top too. So, see here in a second. This should look somewhat like glass. By the way, it's 39 degrees here right now. It was 30 the other morning when we got up. And I love the winter. It's just screwing with my paint jobs. Hey, when you're doing this, make sure you hold on to it so you don't catch it somewhere and send it flying. Because that will happen, like that. Now let's wash this back off. But I always use microfiber cloths, Mr. Mick. And by the way, your pics are in the mail. And thank you for participating in that giveaway. Yeah, I always use microfiber, and I know it sounds dumb, but if it hits the floor and it gets debris in it, never use it for any type of wax or wiping after that. Because no matter what you think, you cannot get that all out. And then you'll be going like this and they'll be leaving scratches and you're like, why? And I know for what I speak because ask me how I know. That happened to me. It had some stuff on the floor and I took a brush and brushed it all out and thought I had it all. It looked like I had it all. I started wiping down a clear coat and voila. So yeah, I mean, you can use the microfiber, but you can get this. You'll get one of these, a medium one, and a smaller one, and like 25 different pads off of Amazon for like $30. This one more time. Okay. You guys saw how that looked before. How's that? And don't let people tell you, oh, you only can use guitar polish on guitars. That's a big lie created by the big guitar companies that make the polish. Pretty much anything you use on an automobile paint can be used on a guitar. There you go. Now let me do the back. Hold on. Brush this off. I was really hoping Johnny would jump in over here. I invited him. He didn't give me a definite that he was going to do anything. I just don't want him getting mad thinking I'm trying to step over him. I'm not. I only did this Wednesdays because I had this to work on. And, he'd hurt his back. Because early in the day, he had sent me a text, and he actually said, no show tonight. Streaming right now. Huh? If you guys want to go over there and watch him, I understand. Yeah, if you want to go watch Johnny, that I understand, and I thank you for the time you were here. So I said, hold it tight when you do it. Oh, thank you. Again, I'm not doing this as a competition with Johnny. I had every intentions of doing the show with him tonight, like we normally do. Wednesday workbench, but then when he said there was no show tonight and he'd hurt his back, I figured I'd just go ahead and do this. Looks a lot better, doesn't it? Zip the stuff together here. Got white, black, purple, pink, green. So you know what? Hey, MPN, look. I got a pink wire tie. A thing I do, and I guess it's part of my OCD, is when I hook up the wires like this. Usually I go with the Well, I stuck my hand in there and it grabbed something, but I didn't see it, so I figured that's what it was. Usually I go with the color of the guitar on the wire ties. You know, cause I have here. I got yellow, neon yellow, green, white, red, black, orange, blue. So I usually try to go with the color of the guitar, and if I don't have it, then it's just either black or white. But I didn't want to use a black one on here because there's big pink wire. So I figured that makes it kind of funny. But I do that. That's just something like when I rewire one, you know, I try to make it a lot neater than it was from the factory. And I just kind of color coordinate it as much as possible. So you're in there, everything's clean. This. I mean, this thing doesn't want to come off. Maybe I'll just leave this for you. Like a little nick of it right here, and I can't. You know, Dane always peels these off. And he's right, though. If they stick on there for a long time, then they're a pain to get off. They're on there for years. Almost like they weld themselves to plastic. And when you start peeling them off, they come off in pieces and they turn kind of yellowish. And a lot of people think, well, they're supposed to be on there. No, they're only on there for shipping the guitar. Keep that from getting scratched. And a lot of them, especially pick guards, will have two of these on it. And that one. Let's do this. I'm gonna have to wipe that down with alcohol. That's been on there for a while. You don't want to leave that on. Much better. Let's just use new screws. Four of them. Rich, I don't know if you're still here, but when I got this, I think I paid $14. Then Rich ended up getting one for $10, brand new off of Amazon. And then I bought Johnny one, and I got it for 12. And now I think they're up to 16 or 18. I'm not sure. And I'll put another coat of wax on it for back. Just for now. So brush out of here. On. Actually need a rolling stool here. I just have an old kitchen square chair on here. It's not rough at all. You know, I understand when they make cheaper guitars, you have to obviously cut stuff for cheaper. And I used to think, that's okay until I started seeing what Torsen was doing with these. A cheap guitar that actually has quality and all that stuff. It's like, wow. So it can be done. So that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. And again, I'll wax it again. That before it gets packed up and shipped to you, MPN. Stuff in here so I don't. So I'm trying to watch the chat do this. You guys get questions? I don't have the super chat thing or none of that. So it's pretty much I gotta look. Yeah. Be able to know. So get not a big piece, obviously. Something like that. But what we're doing is spreading the ground area of coverage out from that little wire. Just that little wire right there. Two. That down in there. That's hard to do with gloves. That down. that over. And then fold it back. Now I just increased the ground area by how much? Of the finish off the back. Just like that. Down. Brush. I'll also I think when I set this action, these screws for the string height are going to be too long. So fortunately, I have monster bolts. Shorter sets, just so when you shorten it up, it doesn't stick out and you don't cut your hand on it. Monster bolts, man. If you guys aren't buying Lloyd Rose screws and stuff like that, Strat and that kind of style bridge, from there, you're overpaying. Looks like it was somewhat. Somebody tried intonation on here. Sort of. Oh. I didn't. I made the mistake. I didn't even plug. I opened it up out of the case, the soft shell case. Set it up here on the bench. That was after Johnny told me he wasn't going to go live. So. Wasn't. You know what? This thing for this. Take these saddles completely. Take the saddles off, bridge up. Out of the way. I mean, if you're going to clean it, Go ahead and clean it right. Might as well do it right the first time. Oh, he only did that short time? Okay. Was he okay? I mean, he wasn't hurting or anything, was he? Yeah, Greasy. I had this one originally, Hammerhead, and I wanted to buy another one, and I couldn't find them. And actually, it was Peggy that found the other one on Amazon. I hope he gets better soon. Believe me, I've lived with back pain since 1989, 88. I now have metal rods and hinges and screws in my spine. Doesn't always feel good. Yeah, Greasy, they're great, man. So, yep, I got my right shoulder has 12 screws, and I forget how many feet of steel braided line because my shoulder got tore up. I've had 3 surgeries on my right one. I now need another surgery, and I'm putting it off because the doctors told me when they did that if it ever tore again, there's nothing left to repair. They need to replace my entire right shoulder, and I'm not looking forward to that. So I'm like, not carrying a lot of stuff with my right arm, trying to put that off as long as I can. And I've had 2 operations on my left shoulder, but it's not as bad, thank God. And the operations on my back. And I still need 2 complete knees. And I made the mistake of watching a knee surgery on YouTube, total knee replacement. That kind of kept me away from that too. Well, one good thing, this is brass. Oh, better. Sorry, didn't hit the mic there. Yeah, so I'm putting it off and as long as I can because he even told me, he said the total shoulder replacement will take a long time to heal and it will hurt. Now, it's like a train wreck, Michael. I start watching. I'm like, oh God, but then I can't get away from it. Yeah, at first the knee replacement one wasn't bad. I thought, hell, that ain't too bad. Until they went in with an oscillating cutter and cut the bones off, and then took like a metal corkscrew thing in there, and then jerk. I was like, oh hell no. Show that the guy's legs flopping all over the place, and he just sound asleep. I was like, I'll go till I absolutely can't walk. Then we'll see about it. Which was my biggest fear about going to NAMM show. All that walking. There's no way I'd been able to do that. So the only thing I could have done is rented one of those mobility carts. Nice and brass too. Well, at least they did some good stuff on that MPN. Brass saddles, brass bridge. It's just they're powder coated black. So. Yeah. I had a friend that had it, and he didn't have any problem. Well, I've had 3 friends that had total knees replacement, and only one of the 3 had no problem. The other 2, both of them need their other knee replaced, and both of them said they're not doing it. And they're like, man, you do it, get them both done, the same week. See, between my back and my knees, I've shrank almost 3 inches. I was 6'2.5". Now I'm under 6 foot. And they told me if I would have both knees done at the same time, they could add 2 inches or 3 inches. But obviously, you can't have one done and walk around with a 2 or 3 inch difference. So it's like they do one knee, and then within that same week, they go and do the other one. Just a few days later. I don't know if they do or not. Johnny said he has seen them there at the show, but he didn't know if they rented them or the people owned them and just brought them. And I couldn't drag one across the country. I'd have to, rent one there. Then that's another added expense. Jojo done took my legs. Cotton was a trip. Hank's wife. Damn it, Dad, I wasn't born in Texas. Yeah, metal screwed to your bones isn't fun. And the one thing I noticed last year with my back now is when it got cold out, really cold, Man, that hurt. He's laying there in the body cast. Yep. I love that cartoon. I finally started watching the new one where they're all older. All right, that's that. Put it on there after I shim the neck. So it may not need to change those, but if I do, you're covered empty, and I got some right here. So got the wider ground displacement. We got ground off down here. Yeah, you can see where. Well, I can't. I don't know if you will be able to. Right there is where that ground wire was. That little spot that's indented right in there. And look, there's no. I ground that black off, so it wasn't even against actual metal or clear metal. Yeah, they when they did the operation with my shoulder, he took photos, and it's wild. See all the screws in there, and then the cable just all over, like a suspension bridge. Let me get the body back here. Hoping Johnny would jump on over here. Oh well, if he's hurting that bad. Oh, that back. If you use copper tape, guys, make sure the adhesive is also conductive, or it doesn't do you any good. A lot of people don't realize that. They just think, so it's copper, it'll work. And it will. It will shield. It will do it, but it won't have the continuity between the cavities. Or if you have to put layers on, you start losing stuff there. I love, always have. But when I was playing recording, just basically maintained the bands. Now that my hands, yeah, I've basically lived under an operating table. 7 operations total on both hands, including thumb, finger, here, 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 here. Oh, here also. Yeah. So it just sucks because I can't play like I used to, and I get upset about it because I know what to do. I know what I used to do, and I just can't do it anymore. And it gets to me every now and then. So that's why it's taking me so long to do my new music. Not really an issue with the rhythms, but it takes me forever to do the leads and get them down right. And now I'm also having, my son Cole do some, my son-in-law, and because I wanted to record with those guys anyhow, and guys I played in the band with years ago, and other bands we played with. So I got a whole list of people who's going to be on this release when it's done, and they'll all be credited. And no, I'm not saying, oh, we'll do this and become, we're all 55 to 62 right now. That dream is long gone, but still want to get the music out there. So, and they're all happy to come record with me. I talked to pretty much all of them. I got them coming from Wisconsin, New York. They're coming in from everywhere. Like, sure, we'll be happy to do that. There's that. Yeah. Now, I even asked Johnny if he would want to work on one. He said he would. If he still wants to or not. One song I have called Pain. Some point in the next 5-6 months, Ripper Owens will be singing that, recording that, singing. All right, now let's work on this behemoth. Back chair. So you can see, looks a lot different than it was. New jack, pots clean, everything clean. Neck. Look at that. Get this all done and get this out to MPN ASAP. Where does bendy bar hook? Oh, it doesn't have one. Hardtail. That would be a hardtail. I don't think this neck has ever been oiled. Miss Ava came down to see me. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. Alcohol first. Something on there. Incredibly dirty. Come on. You gotta go outside. Raining. Go. Come here. Up here. Come here. Say hi to everybody. All right. Hold on, everybody. Let her out. Give me a few minutes. I'll be right back. Sorry, I don't have any videos or anything to play while I have to stare at the neck. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Okay. So now let's get the razor blade. Scrape gunk off here. So, any questions? I'll do my best to answer them, or if I don't know, we'll find out. Find out. We'll find out together. It's like Mr. Rogers, which, by the way, was based over here in Pittsburgh. Can't believe Peggy's not here. sent her a message. Yeah, everybody, don't be afraid to use a razor blade. Just make sure when you're doing it, you apply pressure downward so you don't scrape over the frets. But here's hint number 2. If you do this, do it before you clean the frets. That way, if you do accidentally go over, you'll be cleaning the frets anyhow. I talked to her Tuesday. She sent me a message Tuesday saying they'd lost the internet. That's why she wasn't on Monday. When I did the Monday live, she wasn't here. They didn't have internet. Somebody, a wreck or something, took the lines down. Then I told her that that was before I knew Johnny got hurt, before he got hurt. So I'll be there unless someone hits the internet again. Well, she's not here, so I don't know about those Alabama drivers. No. I mic the cabinet and go straight from there. And then if it needs adjusted, I'll do it after it's recorded. But to be honest with you, Michael, that's the only way I know. I mean, I'm still old school. Even when we recorded was on Sin City, that was still analog. We were on a 2-inch Studer tape machine and tape. Yes, 64. Or no, there's that photo of me in the booth with him, and the board is freaking gigantic. But it was all on a 2-inch Studer machine, which was the same at that time when we recorded that. There was only 2 of those particular Studer machines in the United States. Mark had one for his studio, Mark Daddle, and then the other one was at 5150 Studios. So I can say I recorded on the same type of machine as Eddie. Not on Eddie's personal, but the same machine. There was only 2 in the country at that time. Mark had one and Eddie had the other. Another thing what the razor blade does, when you go over this, the fret marker, it levels it out. I've never tried that, Michael. I would love to. Now I can't do what I did in the studio, because in the studio he had the amp room mic, and what we did is put your amps in there, and he set it up, and then it was pretty much cranked. I can't turn those Ingles up here. Not even believe it or not, I can't even turn them up completely to 2. They are so freaking loud. A little bit of play. All right here on the cowboy chords. Now, why someone would want a 7-string and play cowboy chords, I don't know, but Death Country, maybe? You can see there's white in there, and that's from the fret marker. So it actually levels them out. I'm not going to treat this. All right, guys. The new and improved version. How it works. That works perfect. I printed these guys on the 3D printer. Here's the best part. So it's all contained. So now that I wore that piece out, I just turn that just a hair and on to the next one. No more thumbing through the sandpaper. You know, on the 3D printer page, I found one that had a bunch of guitar stuff on it. And there was a file, a downloadable file, where it printed 24 sand, like half roller sand, to properly scallop a neck, all 24 frets. I've never owned a full scallop neck. Our Mr. Dofka, our other guitar player, who MPN has been watching on YouTube. He doesn't have a choice. I keep sending him the links. He used to have a fully scalloped neck in 1990, and I did play it. It was different. The first thing you have to realize is you no longer have to press really hard on the fretboard. Just basically lay your fingers on them. That's it. Yeah, this is working out nice. Now, this is the very first time I used it. Just turn it. Next sheet or the next spot. And I'll show you the. Here's what I'm talking about. Fretzler, which I love. It's held on by a rubber band. And then when you would use it, okay, like this, and say I wore that piece of sandpaper out. Let's do the other side right here. Oh, look at that, MPN. So then what you'd have to do is hold it, pull, and then you got to hold the sandpaper down too.
So immediately, my engineering background, I was the kid that used to take a bunch of stuff apart of my parents and put it back together just to see how it worked. So I thought, man, got to be something better than that. Got to be somehow. Voila. I can't sell these, obviously. I don't want to go to jail for this, but I can give them away. And they take, it's three parts. It's this whole section here. This cap is separate. Then there's this shaft through it that the sandpaper slides into and turn it. So it's three parts. This whole thing, two, and then three. And it takes about an hour and 20 minutes to print one whole one. I told my wife, I said, what I'll do, I'll make a deal with everybody. They want to send me filament for the printer, I'll make them. And the filament's only anywhere between $13 to $20 for a big spool. But they do wonders, man. I mean, you see that right there, and you saw what I did here. So much nicer than the flitz or polishing compound and the Dremel tool where it splatters where it splatters. Wait, yeah, it's so much nicer because it's not splattering the polishing compound and everything all over the place. And the way it's designed, it fits the curve of the fret, so it's not hurting the fretboard. You don't need to run the protectors on the fretboard. That easy. Turn the knob, the thumb knob just a little bit. So I call this a successful test. Look, turn the dial. Yeah. Yep, 1.75. Amazon sells it. I told that to my wife today. I said, I got so many people now since I've got that printer saying, hey, can you make this for me, man? Yeah, I'll make anything you guys want. I told them, I said, just supply the filament. All right, that'll work, Mr. Mick. I'll make you a whole guitar set thing because I don't know if you saw it or not, but I made these, and then if you know the Tremorly, I paid 19 for the first one, and I think 12 or 13 for the second one. I made them. Never going to buy them again. And I got Allen wrench holders for back of Floyd Rose guitars. All kind of stuff. But again, you know, I can't sell the stuff. But hell, I even made this. I plan on making a whole guitar maintenance 3D printed kit and giving it away, whether it be on here or on Johnny's show, you know, whatever. I just got some filament came today, and it's neat. It's black and gold. So it's wild. So if you look over here, it's gold. Look over here, it's black. Then in the middle, but as it melts, it'll have a different effect. It won't be just black and gold. It'll be like a swirl, black and gold swirl. This I think was that's what it is. I think this one was $18. Billy, I know what you need. Peggy, sorry, had the power out and was down power poles. Oh, that's right. They're getting hit by the hurricane, which is we're getting the rain from that tomorrow. Well, tonight and tomorrow. Let me answer her real quick. Tell her still on. If you have power, Peggy, I'm still live right now, and there's people in the chat. It says I'm still alive right now. God, I hate Siri. NPN will tell you. Siri doesn't like me very much. And again, it has to do with my speech from the stroke. Because I'll say stuff and sometimes prints stuff I never said. I had a hell of a time explaining to my wife one night. I was in the car, she was home, and she sent me a text asking if we could do something. She wanted to do something, and I told her couldn't do it. Didn't have what she wanted to do something. I forget what it even was now. Something in the house she wanted done, but we didn't have everything we needed. And I just hit, voice record, and all I wrote is, or all I said is, you can't. And I hit send. And then I get something back with all big letters and exclamation marks and a point. I'm like, what the hell? And here it changed can't. It took the A out and put a U in. So it was like UC, and I've never. And I said, "Have you?" I said, "You've known me now since how long? Have you ever heard me ever say that? Why would I say that to you?" I had a hell of a time explaining that. Yeah, this is so much nicer. Plus, the sandpaper's out of the way. Just roll it up and put it in there. It slides in. Well, first off, with the Fretzler, you can't find them right now. Amazon's out of them, says they don't know when or if they'll get them back. Now, it was funny because when I bought this one, there was still like 1,000 left. Said, approximately 1,000. I showed him on Johnny's show. He'd never heard about it. And then I don't know, how many people told people or what, but the following week or 2 weeks later, they were sold out of them. And I don't know if they're different size or not. I don't know. But with these, here's wide. I make wide, extra wide, medium, and narrow. So if you're just sending a whole spool of filament, Mr. Mick, I'll just make one of each for you. And what I'll do is I'll make the whole filament, or I'll make the whole unit black, and it'll say on here, Y, W, or X, but I'll make these two parts different colors. So it'll be like black with orange, black with red, black with green, black with blue. That way you'll know which one's which. Peggy! Everybody missed you, Peggy. And look, Peggy, it works. Works fantastic. Matter of fact, it works so good. So here's a medium, and this is the part I'm talking about. You have this, you slide that in there, holds the paper, and then you have to kind of work that around a little bit to get it to click on. Come on, don't make a liar out of me. But they will click in place. Don't make a liar out of me now. At it. Actually, what I want to do with this next revision would be the only problem is at first I thought, well, I make it a screw-in type, but you can't because you have to have that place, the slice in there for the paper to go through. So instead of 2 half moons, maybe like a hexagon there, something like that. But that's what I'm saying, Billy. I can make all the different sizes, small or narrow, medium, wide, and extra wide. And then I'll just do different color. One will be black, all black. Then we'll have black with the yellow, black with green, black with red, black with blue. That way you know which one's which real quick. It's funny, Peggy, you sent that message because I was just telling them that you told me about the internet going out. And literally within 2 minutes, I got that message from you. I'm telling you, this is so much easier. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Mick. Any other questions or comments from anybody? You were just out. You're fine. Although she doesn't like thunder. If there's thunder, she'll come down here and lay at my feet. No thunder? Okay. You were just out. We're trying to, Peggy. We are trying to. Johnny hurt his back, and he initially told me he didn't want to do a show tonight because he hurt his back. He did the Van Halen show, he recorded that video, then released it. And because I got that text saying no show tonight, so I decided, well, I'll just do this. And then while I was on, he went live. But they said he was only on for 30-some minutes. Hope he gets better quick. It sucks. Okay, I tell you what, Mr. Mick. I buy a package of 50 and still have to trim them some, but they're like 3/4 pieces. So you still have to trim them, even with the Fritzler. Still had to trim them. And start out with 400, then go 800, and then 12 or 1500. Then I go 2500. And here's a red one with the black. Then I'll do 5,000, 7,000, and then like this one, 10,000. This is 10,000 too, right? Yeah. 10,000. So and it amazing how well it works. Let's see. Thank you, MPN. Like I said, I love doing this. I always did. When I started, I didn't know how to do change strings. That was pretty much it. And then after I paid, I don't know, a few times to get my guitars worked on, I'm like, screw this. So I did study with a luthier, and I learned, and then I never had to pay to have anything done again. But there are some people that want to not show exactly what they're doing or their tricks of the trade. You know, I get it. I don't practice that, but I understand it. I mean, like, you know, I have people still bring their stuff here. I still have customers bring stuff for, you know, not just paint. I mean, it could be a fret job or, you know, anything, neck adjustment or new pickups, whatever. And I tell them, hey, you know, I got videos on the channel. I hadn't paid that much attention to the channel lately, or I have been neglecting it pretty much all year. And then uh, I had people saying, "Hey, you know, I'm looking for videos. Why don't you do some more or whatever? You know, because I learned how to do this or whatever." And I was like, "Well, okay, that's fine." So, but I don't mind hiding. I don't mind showing. When I showed this to my other friend, I don't want to say his name because he works. He actually does this for a living. I said, "Look how much time this is going to save on fret jobs." And I told him I was going to do a video on it. He's like, "Dude, don't do that." I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Then we'll never get any customers." Well, everybody that owns a guitar is not going to watch my videos. So, you know, I don't think it hurt him or me for that matter. But I don't hide anything. If I don't know how to do it, I'll tell you, and we'll try to figure it out together. If I do know what to do and you want to know, I'll tell you. I'm not going to sit there and say like that old the hell was that dish or laundry ancient Chinese secret. You know, it's not. I want to know how to do it, I'll tell you how to do it. If I know how to do it, I'll let you know. Billy Ray, next time use pirate ship. So you see, there's not a lot of effort in this with these tools. There's not. You just you don't have to put a bunch of pressure down, just a little bit of pressure, and just go back and forth a few times, and that's it. I mean, this is 8,000 grit. You know, I'll see guys buff these up and they use 1,000 grit or 1,500 or even 2,000. We're going to 8,000 and then I'll go over it real lightly with 10,000 and that's it. I mean, it's like, damn, they're done. Well, Billy Ray, if we're going to be shipping stuff back and forth, go grab yourself $100 printer. You're going to need it. It'll pay for itself in 2 shippings. So, any more questions, suggestions, observations? Call it I need to know. Peggy, he sent me one of my dream Jacksons, the Erie Disc Swirl. Made in Japan. Erie Disc Swirl. Me being an old fishing guy, I just always called it the Erie Deary Swirl. Anybody who fished for walleye knows what an Erie Deary is. Might be able to post a link in there. I don't have the restriction. At least I don't think I do. Again, I don't know. Johnny knows how to run this stuff like crazy. I don't know crap about StreamYard. I'm lucky to be able to go live. But I know he's got his set up where he's the only one that can post links. Unless that's automatic, I don't have it set up. So you could post a link to your Facebook post, Billy. People click on it and see what you're talking about. Isn't this so much quicker and easier than using a Dremel tool with polish that flings everywhere and then either buying the whole fretboard cover or the individual one and doing it and taping everything up? Now you save on tape. You don't have to buy the polish, or at least near as much. You know, I still use it for other stuff. I think anybody ever works on a guitar, even if you just change your own strings, you should have one of these. Because it would never hurt like to put 3,000 grit, excuse me, 3,000 or 5,000 grit on here. And when you take the strings off, go ahead and just shine them up again. Yeah, Michael B., I know nothing about StreamYard at all. I am really, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm lucky to be able to go live. I can fix cars, motorcycles, guitars. I can build a house. I can build a garage. I can build dies to stamp out metal. Graduated Wright State University with CAD, but I don't know how to run StreamYard. Okay, now we'll just go over this. Wait, what's this? All right, so this one's 10. And then we're done. That's 10,000. I already did those. Then I just hydrate the board. Okay. Well, I don't know anything about that either, to be honest with you. I never, I'd never went live before until I got on with Johnny. When I did my shooting stuff, which is the Ron Gunner channel, I always did the videos and then just posted them later. I never did a live, never dreamed about going live, had no idea you could even do it, actually, because I never watched podcast or anything like that. And then one day I was just scrolling through Facebook, 3 years ago, YouTube, and I saw Johnny in Oklahoma on there. And Johnny asked about guitars. I said, here's the number. You got any guitars you want to show? Text that number. And I started laughing. I thought, well, okay, I got a bunch of guitars I'll show you. And I started sending them to him over and over again throughout the show. And he was like, is that still you? Then he made the comment that maybe I should come on the show. I did that next Friday. I think it was Friday. I was a guest on the show that time, and then I ended up staying on. And like I said earlier, I've never asked him how any of this stuff works. I know I've been there when he's told Laz stuff to do, but I didn't pay attention to it because I didn't plan on doing this. But I've grown to like the people I've met in the chat, and that's the honest to God's truth. And I kind of like hanging out with you guys, because if not, I'm just down here by myself. I'll be streaming music and sitting here. Like, I'd much rather have you guys to talk to and answer questions and help out if I can. Hell, guys may be able to teach me something. That's always a benefit, or a plus, however you want to look at it. Drink over. I love my ocean spray, Grand Grape. I don't see it, Michael. One day, Michael, what we can do if you want to is one day after one of the shows, call me on the phone and walk me through some of that stuff. If you would, please. I'd greatly appreciate that. So this is the difference with the Fretzler. You got to pull it, plus you got to fold the paper over, and it's hold it out of the way. And believe it or not, that rubber band comes with this. That's how it's held on to here. And again, this is a great tool, but I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, there's got to be a better way. You can ask next time Cole was on one of Johnny's shows. You can ask my son. He'll tell you. I always took stuff apart, figure out how it worked, or tried to improve it. I've always been that way. And I hope Johnny's doing okay. I know all too well. More than I care to know. Back pain. How's that, MPN? Now, let's treat it with some Howard's Feed and Wax. And no, we are not brought to you by Howard's Feed and Wax. Wish I was. I don't think this board has ever been treated. It's pretty dry. This stuff isn't really a liquid. It's like a gel. But you can ask Laz. I mean, Laz deals with antique furniture and refinishing antique furniture. This is what he uses. This is good stuff. And the luthier I work with is the one that showed me this. And it's got like an orange, citrusy smell to it. There we go. Like a whole new fretboard. I'm far from working on guitars on a bed. I know I shouldn't. Those who do get a laugh out of that. So, oh, Billy, that's supposed to be here next Monday? Is that what you said? I think he said that guitar is supposed to be here Monday. If it is, we know what will be cool. Well, we know what next Monday's show is. The reveal, look, and tear down and rebuild. Stressed swirl. Yeah, believe it or not, this this stuff is actually better for the fretboard wood than all the other stuff you buy. Because it's a conditioner and a wax. So it conditions. You can see how it all sucked in there, and now it's got like a wax, like waxing the top, and it holds it in there. You can get this on Amazon too. Howard's Bead and Wax. Oh, Billy, let me tell you, I'm like a kid at Christmas. That'll be here. Well, my luck, it'll say between 10 and 1, and it won't get here till 5:30 or 6. That's how it usually goes for me. And it's funny because when I don't have anything coming, but my neighbors do, UPS is here 10, 11 in the morning. When I'm waiting on something, it's the end of the day. But I'm like a kid at Christmas. There's no way I can wait all that long. And Rich, I don't know if Rich is still here. Rich, are you still here? He may not be. It's been 3 hours. Um, and show you this. Rich picked this up for me today. I gal out here for a minute. It takes 24 hours. Reverb market sold after from that store anyhow. So Rich was at Starving Musician today and picked this up for me. It's for Bones because Bones is a JFrog / ESP. And I've always wanted one of these, but you couldn't. I don't know about now. This one's used, but you couldn't buy this individual. It came with the guitar. So it's for Bones. He bought me the ESP gravestone type case, which will work perfect for the Bones guitar. That's Starving Musician in Santa Clara. Here's the back of it. Like a graveyard, gravestone type deal. He picked it up for me, and the Starving Musician is actually sending it for him to me. And then we're going to work out what I owe him for it when he gets back his vacation. So, all right, we're done with the neck. We're done with the body. We got the input jack switched. Pot's clean, switch clean. I want to shim the neck. That's as far as I go, so I'll have to go buy strings tomorrow. We can't do all this MPN and then just put the old strings back. That would just be wrong. Very wrong. Kicked out of the guitar gear club. If there ever was such a thing. I used to have a 7-string set, and I had a customer. I had one 7-string set, and I had it for probably a year and a half. And then I got a call from a customer one time. He said he wanted me to set it up and everything. I said, sure. He didn't tell me what it was. You know, he just said electric guitar. He didn't tell me it was a 7-string. And then it was like, oh, you're lucky. I have one set. And since I only had that one, I've never bought another set. So, Mr. Mick, thank you for the filament. And thank you for hanging out and watching tonight. Like I said, Wednesday night is not a normal thing for me alone. I only did this because Johnny said that there was not going to be a show. But I will do Mondays. We get to. This basically looks like a whole different guitar. One thing I did think about making and selling is these. where you plug in, you can tell the output of your pickup. And we're talking like, I got to buy this. I got to buy the plug, and I solder it on there, test it. I'm talking like $20. Sell them. But they help you so much as far as finding, like if your pickup's bad or your switch is bad, you can use that and it'll tell you, like flip a switch, okay, so you're getting power. Your front pickup's working, your back one's not. So I use it for that. Diagnostic. So I am thinking about making those, selling them for $20. Ever been curious about what your pickup's putting out power wise? Way to check it. You have to fiddle around and take the cover off, tap into the wires. It doesn't need a lot of shim, so I'm not going to use a wood. I think business thickness. I know. Actually, I'm trying to find where I can get wood shims that are this thin. Straight in. Check these. Got it here. Everything's right and tight. And if anybody asks, right and tight is the way it goes. You don't want it tight and then find out. Hopefully it's right. I would say date on this, I would say this is a 2021. There's not a dent or nick on the neck at all. Oh, that's what I got to do too. Hold on. I'm going to need this done to it. That's for dang sure. wide as this neck is. Degloss it. Aggressive Scotch Brite pad. Whenever I did this for people, I used to send a pad with it, and I ended up almost running out of pads. I have yet to buy new ones, so I'm down to like 3. So MPN, you have to buy your own. So, and I found out this is best because here's the thing. This, you don't want just the bare wood. Humidity will screw with it like crazy. So this is sealed. So if you use this, you're just taking the gloss off, which makes it a little bit more slipperier, the shine, but you're not taking, like sandpaper would take it down to the bare wood. So you're not taking the finish completely off to where it's going to affect the neck and the humidity. You're just taking the gloss off. And eventually, playing it, it'll get glossy again, and just do this again with the Scotch Brite pad. Excuse me. That way, it's not hurting the neck, won't hurt the neck, and it makes it easier to play. I love transformations like that. Me, that makes it freaking nice. But again, just me. Get started. Alex. How you doing? How you doing, Alex? Oh, I just basically built this. What? Rain. Yeah. Must have popped out over there in the chair. There. Uh, We're going to install these back in here, MPN. Any comments and questions? Take a lot of, just a little drop right around the ledge. A lot of glue on there. It's going to just shove it down in there, spread out, and make a mess everywhere. And I can tell you that the guy who had this probably never changed the strings, because 5 of these came out when I took strings out of it. And I know damn well if they'd have fell out on him, he never would have put them back. And they fell out really easy. So I'm going to say that was the original strings from 21. Someone giving you competition, Alex? Oh. Ah, shit. Now I got to clean that up. This doesn't do it. I'll have to buff it out again. Yeah, I'll have to buff it out. See, I wasn't paying attention, so I'll buff that out again. So, best part, neck looks like that bit of a shim. So, I'll get the strings tomorrow. Stuff. Get the strings tomorrow and put on it. Set it up, the action and everything. And MPN, I'll send you a video. Yeah, it's a hell of a lot better than it did. I assume these are Ibanez pickups, so I have no idea what they sound like. But let's do this. Plug it into the machine here and see what they're pushing out. Two clicks. All right. I'll have to buff that out. So, remember I said I didn't plug this in when I put it up here? Got it? Come on, damn it. Let's see why we're getting because what I might end up doing is taking this pot, these two pots, and this switch out, just replace everything. It is like just do that and pick out everything, start over. Because the wires, oh, right here. I told you they were barely soldered on the jack itself. I didn't realize barely soldered on the pot. What I'll do is I'll sand this down with 5,000 and just rebuff it. That's the tape stuff. That's why I was getting the intermediate reading. Working, then it wasn't working. Working, then it wasn't working. Oh, they didn't believe on using solder, a lot of solder. But see how using this meter, it didn't just tell me the output; it let me know that there was something wrong just by plugging in and doing that. So I'm going to have about $13 or $14 in each one, plus my time to make it. So I'm going to sell them for $20 each. And you saw right here how that will help. So I'll see how this sounds, MPN, and if I think the new pots and stuff make it sound even better, I'll go with that anyhow. Although this is going to, and I'm going to solder, run it all the way through the pot tip. It's all the longer it took to fix. Right there. So let's see what it's doing now. Peggy? Yeah, Peggy won one of these. $14.4 back pickup. So it's a 5-way switch. So you got 14.4, 3.2, 6.2. So it's 14.4 total, one coil, 3.2. Then add these two together, you get 6.3. And that should be 5.6. And the front one is 11. So you see how this meter helps. And I've never seen, this is another thing I thought of one night sitting here thinking, damn, there's got to be a better way of taking the back off and digging through everything. But as you can see, everything's working now. Switch is working. Volume pod is working. We're all good. So I'm going to make a couple of these and just sell them from the show. If you guys are interested, you know. I got to get another. Oh, MPN. Wait a minute. I might not have any more pink. Ah, get back. I know pink would be the least of one in here. I am worried about Johnny. I hope his back's not bad. I hope he didn't do any real damage to it because that sucks. Mine's hurting right now. Well, of course it's going to hurt. They told me. The doctor actually told my wife and me after surgery. He come in. He said we did the rods, we did the plate, screws, and the hinges. Some kind of hinge in there or something. He said, but the rest of the spinal said it looks like a battlefield. So never going to get better. And all that surgery did was took the numbness away, but it replaced the bone parts with metal, so they won't deteriorate anymore. But as far as the back being better, no, he said it's what it is, and it's shot. Years of abuse. And I'm seriously mean, weightlifting and not doing it like you're supposed to. High school, college football. All that stuff. I'll sand that off. Saw some. So I can tell you, doctor ever tells you, take it left, right, do it. Our age, my age, 60, matter much. If you're younger, 5,000 grit. A little bit of water. And I'll just sand all this off. Buff it back out. What I did is I screwed up when I screwed up, and when I wiped it off, the glue I just put in there wasn't dry yet. That's all I'm going to take the glue off. Yeah, a back is nothing, you know, when you're in your 20s, nothing hurts. And I remember my dad telling me, someday you'll pay for that. You'll wish you listened. And I always thought, yeah, whatever. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. Right. Does hurt. Don't take care of it. Pay the price. What was that song by Twisted Sister? Price? That's it. Right. So anyhow, MPN, here's your guitar. Like I said, we're gonna have to come up with All right. Can you guys hear me now? Stupid Firefox crashed. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. All right, it's working. Sorry about that, everybody. I didn't know. Sitting here and you guys didn't hear me. I tripped. Went over there to get the wax and stuff. I didn't hit the ground. I hit the wall. I thought, man, there's almost another moment. All right. So how much did you miss? Did you guys see me sanding the glue off this? I'm sitting here talking. I'm thinking, why isn't no one answering? There. Glue is all gone. Did you guys see me even test the pickups and fix the problem? Peggy, you still here? Okay. All right. Well, this is pretty much done until I get the strings. Sorry, Firefox crashed on you. Or, well, on me. Some of this stuff away. I can't hack. How I am. Nothing like. I blame it on my father. But it's a good thing. Excuse me, now I get the ticket. So, Billy Ray, next Monday will be doing all this to that Jackson. But this looks like a completely different guitar now. I mean, this thing, wow. I get everything adjusted right in it. Gonna be sweet. I hope MPN enjoys it. Sandy stuff. There. All right, so Billy Ray, it's just you. You're the only one here with me now. Friday night, supposedly. Again, I'm hoping he's feeling pretty good. Do it. I don't want anyone to suffer back pain. That sucks. No, you just went through it. It sucks. I freaking hate it. 5 watching. Anyhow, if you go back to the beginning of the video, see what this looked like initially and what it turned out to now, which is a pretty big difference. Yeah, I don't want Johnny to be hurting with his back, and that oh, that sucks. So here is MPN's 7-string Ibanez. I mean, this thing was filthy, frets, rusty. Neck had I'd never been treated. Guarantee that. And it's the original strings from one. Set of strings for maybe up running and the action's set right. All the pots are clean, the switch is clean, the bridge is clean. I have to do the adjust the neck, the pickup height. Pot switch. Pure tone input jack is in it. Neck shimmed. Back, I sanded it back and buffed it out. I mean, this thing was freaking filthy. Hadn't been taken care of. I got to wash the gig bag it came in too. It looked worse than the guitar. The other four who are watching and not saying anything, you got any questions? Anybody got any questions? Guess not. All right. Well, I think Laz is doing a show tomorrow. So hopefully I get an invite for that and I'll see you there. And oh, cool. And then Johnny, provided his back's doing okay, Friday night and Saturday night. And then I'll be back here Monday. I'm just going to do Monday nights. Like I said, this was just a night because he told me he wasn't going to do anything night because he hurt his back. With that being said, I am going to end the stream. And I want to thank everybody who watched, especially all this time. And I appreciate everything. Honest to God. You guys are the biggest stars in the world, man. I will see everybody on the next show. Billy, I'll talk to you later. Everybody have a good night, good evening, good night, and a good day tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Good night, Billy. Good night, Peggy.